Yo! What's up mga parekoy? I'm back here with a new video. Please subscribe sa ating channel and click the notification bell button para laging updated sa ating mga videos. So this is Complex Numbers Part 2 and specifically sa ating Part 2 pag-uusapan po natin ng mahiwagang the Moivre's formula. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Moivre's formula. Yan. Okay. So, last video natin, may natenga tayong problem. Exercise natin. We will try to solve it. Pa-recap lang. Sa ating last video, pinag-usapan natin how to convert complex numbers in different form, rectangular, exponential, polar, and the coordinate form. And also, we tackled about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of complex numbers. So, we will try to do a fast recap here. Solve natin tong problem na to. Okay. So, first problem, let's letter A. Letter A, sabi niya, that's Z1 plus Z2. So, adding Z1 and Z2. Z1 is in rectangular form. Z2 is in coordinate form. And we can easily write this in rectangular form since this is X, this is Y. Writing that, so we first write Z1. Z1 is equals to negative 2 plus I. Z2, since this is the X and this is the Y, we can write this as 4 minus 2i, right? So, adding these two terms, we add the real parts and the imaginary parts, negative 2 plus 4, that's 2i minus 2i is negative I. So, our answer is 2 plus 2 minus I, right? So, next problem, letter B, Z2 minus Z1. So, baliktari lang natin to. 4 minus 2i minus negative 2 plus I. So, solving for this, that would be, distribute muna natin yung negative sign. That would be positive. And this would be negative. So, mawawala na yan. 4 plus 2 is 6. Negative 2 minus I is negative 3i. So, this is our final answer. 6 minus 3i. Okay, next. Letter C. For letter C, we're tasked to multiply Z3, Z4, and Z5. We can notice that Z3 is in polar form. Z4 is in exponential form. And Z5 is in unknown form. Okay. So, basically guys, anong kailangan natin gawin is to transform them in the same form. And I will choose polar kasi sa polar yun yung pinakamadali on how to multiply that. So, that would be Z3 natin is equals to 2 angle 30 degrees. Next is Z4. Ang Z4 natin kasi is 2e na sa exponential form siya, negative I pi. Okay. So, alam natin, let's convert this into polar form. Alam natin na yung modulus niya is 2. It's the same, the R is 2. And we write the angle. So, to find for the angle, yung angle kasi dito is nakalagay sa, nasa form na radians. So, this is negative pi, right? Don't forget the negative sign. So, that's negative pi. Convert natin yan sa degrees. So, that's pi over 180 degrees. Mag-cancel yung pi. Na resulting number is negative 180 degrees. So, this is negative 180 degrees. Alright? So, this is nasa polar siya. Nasa polar next. Z5. Z5 natin, that's 3. Z5 natin, that's 3 cosine 30 plus sine 30. Let me fix this. Sorry. Ito, cosine 30. Now, guys, kung mapapansin nyo, this is none of the forms that I have mentioned, but this is example of Euler's formula. Parang, di ba, when we are finding for the value of x, x is r cos theta, and y is r sin theta. So, in this form, meron tayong mga values. Itong 3 na to, this is the R, and the 30, since same sila, ito yung value ng ating theta. So, since we know the value of the modulus or the R and the theta, we can write this in polar form, which is Z5 is equals to 3 angle 30 degrees. As simple as that. So now, ngayon, meron na tayong value ng we are all in the same polar form. Ito, Z3, Z4, and Z5. So basically, we are tasked to multiply these three complex numbers. Doing that, since we are in multiplication, first, i-multiply lahat natin ng mga modules. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. And for the angle, since we are multiplying, i-add lang natin lahat ng mga angles. So yung angle niyan, 30 plus negative 180, that would be equal to negative 150. Negative 150 plus 30 is negative 120 degrees. So basically, guys, this is our final answer. Alright? Next. Okay. Solving for letter D, guys. Kung mapapansin yung word na re, when that appears in a question, re stands for real number. IM stands for imaginary number. So ano ba yung mga to? When it is asking for the re or the real number, real part of the complex number, it is actually finding for the value of the x. While when it's finding for the imaginary number, it's actually finding for the value of y. Ito yung kasama ng I, yung number na kasama ng I. Ito naman yung number na walang kasabag I. Okay, so to solve for this, kailangan mo natin i-multiply yung mga terms dito. Z3 times Z1 divided by Z2. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, Z1 and Z2 are in rectangular while Z is in polar. I prefer na mas madali kasi ako nakakapag-multiply, nakakapag-divide kapag nasa polar form siya. Kasi what we need just to do is to add and subtract, diba? It's an easier way. So I will first convert Z1 and Z2 sa polar form. Okay, to solve for that, first Z1 is equals to negative 2 plus I. To convert that to polar form, I need to find for the R, and I need to find for the theta. So to solving for the R is basically square root of negative 2 square plus 1 square. So to solve for that, negative 2. 4 plus 1 is square root of 5. So the value of my R is square root of 5. Next, finding for the theta. Find for the theta, that would be arctan y over x. And the value of our y is 1, and the value of our x is negative. So it's basically negative 1/2. Using our calculator, shift tan negative 1 over 2, that's negative 26.56. Negative 26.56 degrees. So, let's make sure first na nasa tama tayong quadrant. Okay? Yung x value is negative 2, 1, 2, at ang I niya is 1, ibig sabihin andito siya. So, this is our, basically, ito yung R natin, guys. Now, ang negative 26.56 ay tumutukoy dito sa angle na to. That's 26.56. Pero yung angle na hinahanap natin is yung angle from dito hanggang dito. So to solve for that, that would be 180 minus 26.56. So 180, guys, 180 minus 26.56 is equals to 153. 26.56, that would be 153.44 degrees. So so to rewrite that, Z sub 1 is also equal to R, which is square root of 5 angle 153.44 degrees. Okay, now let's solve for Z sub 2. Let me just erase this. Okay, so solving for Z sub 2, that's Z is equals to 4 minus 2i. To solve for the value of R, it will be square root of 4 square plus negative 2 square. 4 square is basically 16. 16 negative 2 square is 4. So that would be square root of 20. Square root of 20. Next is to solve for our theta. To solve for our theta, that's arctan y natin is negative 2 over 4. That's also same as 1/2. So solving for that, shift tan negative 2 over 4, that will be equal to the same negative negative 26.56. So now, i-plot natin siya sa argan plane. Sa plane natin kung nasa tama siya. So 4, x natin is 4, that's positive. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And our y is negative, which is negative 2, 1, 2. So andito siya. Our modulus is in this part. Ibig sabihin, ang angle na to, negative 26.56. Tama, andito siya. Negative kasi it's going clockwise. Kapag counterclockwise yan, that's positive. So this is our angle. Tama, ito na yung theta natin. So to rewrite the in polar form, it would be square root of 20 angle negative 26.56 degrees. Okay, guys? So now, we have now the values of our ano tawag dito? May values na tayo ng ating mga to, and we can now certainly solve for the value of kung ano yung hinahanap natin. Okay? So that's Z3 times Z1 over Z2. Z3 natin, Z3 is, where's Z3? Ito. Z3 is ito. So that's 2 angle 30 degrees times Z1. Z1 is ito. Square root of 5 angle 153.44 degrees over Z2 natin is square root of 20. Simplifying that, guys, square root of 20 is the same as square root of 20 is the same as 2 square root of 5 angle negative 26.56 degrees. So, our next part is to simplify. Since this is multiplication, we just need to multiply the modulus at ipag-add yung mga angles natin. So, doing that, 2 times square root of 5 is 2 square root of 5. Yung angles natin, angle 30 plus 153.44 is 183.44 degrees. We just add them. 30 plus 153, guys. Okay? Over, divide na natin, 2 square root of 5 angle negative 26.56. Okay, so next thing to this to divide. So when we are dividing, we just divide the modulus, yung mga r values natin, and we just subtract itong, what do we call this? We just subtract the angles. Okay? So doing that, 2 square root of 5 divided by 2 square root of 5 is 1. So let's cancel that out. So that's 1 angle. Ano yung angle natin? We subtract this 183.44. 183.44 minus negative 26.56. We have a result that's 210. Angle 210. So basically, guys, this is our final answer. Okay, now, ang tinatanong niya sa atin is the real part. So to find for the real part, we just need to convert 1 angle 210 into a rectangular form. So to solve for that, since our r is 1, our angle is 210, converting this to rectangular form, that's x is equals to r cos theta. Ang r natin is 1 times cosine of 210. Solving for that, cosine of 210 is equals to negative square root of 3 over 2. Now, solving for the value of y, that's r sine theta. And sine, that's sine 210. Solving for that, sine 210 is equals to negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 or equal to negative 1/2. Okay, so in this letter D, ang sagot natin sa letter D, the real part is the value of the x value, which is negative square root of 3 over 2. Dito naman, ang imaginary number natin, ang value niya is negative 1/2. Because writing this, when we write this into rectangular form, that's negative 3 over 2 minus 1 over 2. That's Z. Ito yung ating, so this is the real part. This is the imaginary part. Alright? So, I think we have give justice to this problem. Now let's now move for the Moivre's formula. The Moivre's formula. Basically guys, sa the Moivre's formula, saan ba natin ginagamit yung formula na to? Ginagamit natin yung formula na to if we are doing kapag nire-raise natin ng isang complex number into a certain degree. For example, meron tayong 2 plus i. When we raise this to 2, pwede nating ma-solve to using the multiplication method. Pwede nating siyang i-FOIL method. Pero how if meron tayong value na 2 plus I raised to 10? Ganon. That would take too long if magpo-FOIL tayo. So, itong gamit ng de Moivre's formula is to do a shortcut kapag nag-raise ka na into higher degrees. So, ano ba itong formula natin? Sa formula na to, what we need to know ang given para makasolve tayo, dapat meron tayong value ng r at meron din value ng theta. So, kapag nasa rectangular form siya, basically x and y given, kailangan natin siyang i-convert sa polar, either polar or exponential. Dito, ang theta natin can be either in degrees or radians. Alright? It can be in degrees or radians. So, formulas natin, z raised to n is the power, is equal to r raised to n, cos n theta, I sin n theta. N theta, i-multiply muna natin yung n, kung ano yung raise niya, tsaka sa theta, bago natin i-cosine. Same as here, i-multiply muna natin yung angle sa power, bago natin siya i-sin. Alright? So, kung pwede siya na mahanap yung yung expansion niya, pwede rin magamit yung de Moivre's formula para mahanap yung roots. So, kung ito, nag-raise to something tayo, ito is the root of power root, yon. So, same goes, ito rin yung formula, cos, huwag nyo memorize, square root of rn. So, basically, kapag raise to, ito yung k guys, ito yung kung pang ilang power siya na raise. So, kung na-raise to, for example, 2 plus I raised to 3, ibig sabihin, meron siyang tatlong roots. So, gagamitin natin yung formula na to tatlong times. Ano yung magbabago is just the k. Yung k natin sa ito is 0, 1, 2. For example, we have joke lang. Okay, joke lang yun ha. For example, meron tayong square root of 2 plus I. Yan. Cube root of 2 plus I. So, kapag i-cube root natin to, ibig sabihin, meron tayong tatlong roots. So, tatlong beses natin ito solve. Ano yung magbabago? Sa first equation natin, ang k natin is equals to 0. Sa second equation, ang k natin is equals to 1. Sa third equation, ang k natin basically equals to 2. So, kung ano yung bilang ng roots, ganun din yung bilang kung ilang beses natin gagamitin itong equation. We will show an example later kung paano natin yan masosolve. So, let's go. Okay. Doon muna tayo sa roots, okay? Given z sub 1, okay. Find z sub 5 raised to 2. So, where's our z sub 5? Z sub 5 natin, guys, is 3 cosine 30, guys, may I dito. Nakalimutan ni sir. Plus I sin 30. So, basically, guys, from this equation alone, pwede na nating mahanap yung given. Okay, guys, uulitin ko. When we are solving using the de Moivre's formula, kailangan nating ma-identify kung ano yung r at ano yung theta para makamove on tayo. We just need these two values. Okay? That's the first step. So, to find for the value of r dito, using Euler's formula, we can say that this is the modulus, that 3 is the value of r, and the value of our theta is 30. So, since may values na tayo dito, pwede na tayo makapag-proceed sa next step. Z sub 5, ito daw i-square natin. So, since square pa yan, you have two choices. Pwede mo siyang i-FOIL method or pwede mong gamitin yung de Moivre's formula. So, let's try both and compare our answers kung tama. Okay. Sa ating original method, which is this is 3 angle 30, i-multiply natin siya sa kanyang sarili, 3 angle 30. So doing that, we just need to multiply the modulus, that's 9, and add the, ang tawag dito, angle, the theta, that's 30 plus 30 is 60 degrees. Okay, now let's use the De Moivre's formula to check if tama yung sagot natin. So De Moivre's formula, z raised to r is equals to, raised to n is r raised to, tawag doon, r raised to n times mo yung cosine theta times n plus I sine theta times n. So let's substitute details. R natin is 3. N natin is kung ano yung power na naka-raise siya, which is 2. Cosine natin, cosine theta. Ano yung theta natin? Theta natin is 30. Ano yung n natin? N natin is again 2 plus I sine, same lang, theta times n, which is 60. So to solving for that, 3 squared, that's 9. Cosine 60, solve natin. Cosine 60 is equal to, cosine 60 is equals to 1/2 plus sine 60 is equals to square root of 3 over 2i. Okay. So dito, we will have a solution in rectangular form. Let's distribute terms. That's 9 over 2 plus 9. 9 times square root of 9 times square root of 3. That would be equal to 9 square root of 3. 9 square root of 3 over 2i. So ito, nasa rectangular siya. Ito, nasa polar, ito nasa rectangular. So let's convert this to polar to prove na tama yung sagot natin. So converting this into polar form, that would be finding for the r. R is equals to square root of 9 over 2 square plus 9 over square root of 3 is 2. Okay? So square natin yan. Kung yung result niyan is 9, tama tayo. So square root of, at ang result natin ay, yes, tantananan, tama po, ang r is equals to 9. Tama tayo dito. Next, solve naman natin kung we have the value, we have the right angle. So to find for the theta, theta natin is arctan, tan negative 1, y, ito y, 9 over square root of 3 over 2 over 9 over 2. So kapag lumabas ay 60 dyan, shift tan tayo guys, shift tan, tapos 9 square root of 3 over 9 over 2, tantananan, shift tan, ang tama 60 degrees. So basically, this is to prove na tama ang De Moivre's formula. Okay? So let's try solving more para mas mag-grasp pa natin. Okay? Okay, now, next problem. That's letter A. So letter A, okay na tayo dyan. Letter B. Letter B, sabi dito, that's z sub 1 plus z sub 2 raised to 3. Sa problem na to, guys, we need first to execute the addition inside the parentheses before we cube it out. So, z1 natin is ito. z2 natin is ito. Okay, so both nasa rectangular sila, so we can basically add them directly. So, negative 2 plus I plus 4 minus 2I. So, if adding that, like terms, negative 2 time plus 2 is positive 2. I minus 2I is negative I. So, that's 2 minus I. Ito, i-cube po natin to. Pero as I said a while ago, using the De Moivre's formula, ang kailangan natin is the value of the R and the value of a theta. So, since ito nasa rectangular form siya, we convert it to polar form. Okay, so to find for the R, that would be square root of 2 square plus negative 1 square. Basically, that's square root of 5. We have the value of R. Finding for the value of the theta. Theta is arctan. y natin is negative 1 over 2. Solving for that, arctan, shift tan, negative 1 over 2. Ang sagot natin dyan is negative 26.56. That's negative 26.56. I-plot natin sa plane to make sure lang na tama yung angle na to. Okay, next. So, dito, that's 2. That's going to the right. Dito. And that's negative. So, it's going down. Tama lang. So, since it's negative, tama lang na negative 26.56. Tama to. So, now, since we have the values of the r and the theta, we can now solve for the cube the certain complex number. So, i-cube na natin siya, okay? Balikin natin ng konti. So, we have space. Okay, so let's cube it out. Using the Moivre's formula, that's again z raised to n is equals to r raised to n cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Okay, r raised to n, ang r natin is square root of 5 raised to n. What's the value of our n? Kasi cube yan, so that's 3. Next is cosine n times theta. N natin is, what's our n value? N value 3. That's 3, right? 3 times negative 26.56 degrees. Same lang yan. Plus I sin 3 times negative 26.56 degrees. Closing natin yan. Let's use the calculator. Square root of 5. Square root of 5 raised to 3 is equals to 5 square root of 5. Next, cosine of 3 times, okay guys, here's a shortcut para yung result natin maging polar form rin at hindi na siya rectangular. If you want to, okay, two choices guys. Kung ang result mo gusto mong maging rectangular, i-execute mo yung ito, i-solve mo sa calculator yung value ng cosine ito. So, pero kapag gusto mong nasa polar siya, what you just need to do is to multiply this 3 times negative 26.56 is negative 79. That's negative 79.68. Yan. So, negative 79.68. Ang value nito ay same sa value nito. So, pwede natin yung i-rewrite in the same manner as 5 square root of 5. This is the value of our modulus. Then we write CIS negative 79.68. This can be our final answer, guys. This is a part of the Euler's formula. This is the value of our r. This is the value of our theta. We can rewrite that further into polar form. 5 square root of 5 angle negative 79.68. Pero kung gusto nyo guys, kung gusto nyo na makuha yung value niya in rectangular form, you can execute this. Punta tayo dito, executing that would be 5 square root of 5. I-solve na natin ano yung value ng cosine negative 79.68. Ang value niyan guys, negative 79.68 is 0, let's approximate it 0.18 plus I, ano yung sign ng negative 79.5668, I should say, is negative 98. So, this is negative 98. So, 5 square root of 5, 0.18 minus 0.98 I. So, i-distribute lang natin to dito para makuha yung rectangular form niya. 5 square root of 5 times 0.18, that would be equal to approximately 2 minus 0.98 times 5 square root of 5, that would be equal to 11, approximately 11. 2 minus 11 I. Okay. So, this is in rectangular form. This is in polar form. So, kung ako yung tatanungin guys, when the problem says for us to evaluate a certain, kung using i-cube natin siya, i-raise to 4 natin siya, at hindi na specify kung ano yung gustong sagot, either rectangular or ang tawag dito, rectangular polar, mas maganda yung way na ganito. Huwag mo nang kailangang find yung rectangular form niya. Kasi if you're finding for the rectangular form, it would take a longer time for you to solve it. However, kapag polar form lang siya, you can use the CIS method kasi makukuha mo lang yung angle na theta and you can certainly rewrite it out. That would be an easier option. Pero kapag kailangan ng rectangular, we can solve using this problem. Alright? So, let's erase that. Z3, first Z3 natin. Z3 natin. Execute muna natin yung problem na to bago tayo i-cube muna natin siya. I-cube muna natin tong raised to 4, then multiply both. So, let's do a fast analysis. So, Z sub 3, this is basically 2 squared 30. That is first formula. So, R ko is 2, theta ko is 30. So, using the Moivre's formula, that would be 2 raised to 3 cos n ko is 3, n times theta, 3 times 30 is 90, plus I sine 90. So, basically, 2 raised to 3 is 2 times 2, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 CIS 90 degrees, and putting in polar form, that would be 8 angle 90 degrees. Next, Z sub 4. Okay, so for our Z sub 4, that's 2, nasa exponential form siya. Z sub 4 is equals to 2e negative I over pi. So, we solve for the value of R. The value of our R here is 2. Pero yung value naman ng ating theta is negative pi. Kailangan natin siyang i-convert into degrees para same sila dito. So, converting that into degrees, that will be 180 over pi, cancel pi. The value of our theta is negative 180 degrees. So, solving for that, using the Moivre's formula, that would be 2. Again, that's raised to 4. Cosine n natin, that's 4. Ano yung theta natin? Negative 180 plus sine, I sine 4 times negative 180. Solving for that, 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2 is 16. Cosine 4 times 180. 4 times 180 is negative 720. That's negative 720. So, rewriting that, we can write as at 16 CIS negative 720. So, negative 720 degrees. So, that's 16 angle negative 720 degrees. Next here, sabi kasi dito, is to multiply. I-multiply natin yung cube ng Z3 tsaka yung fourth power ng Z4. So, let's multiply these two terms. Ito, tsaka ito. So, multiplying that, we just multiply the modulo 16 times 8. 16 times 8 is equals to 128. Angle natin, we just add the angle since we are multiplying. Negative 720 plus 90 is equals to negative 630. So, ito po yung final answer natin, guys. Okay? I hope you're getting the concept behind it. Okay, let's solve this. Try natin. Sorry, mahaba yung video, I hope you're not getting bored. Sorry. Okay, next. Let's solve naman natin to. Z sub 2 over Z sub 1 raised to 25. Okay, so, since raised to 25 yan, madali lang yan. Kaya natin yan, guys. So, first is, distribute natin yan. That's Z sub 2 raised to 25 over Z sub 1 raised to 25. Z sub 1, kanina ulit, that's negative 2 plus I. is equals to, kailangan nating hanapin yung value ng r at ang value ng theta. Hanapin, kasi sinolve natin yan kanina, di ba? Wait lang. Z sub 1. Oh, ito. Same kasi sila eh. Ito, no? Copy ko lang to, Copy. Punta tayo dito. Paste. Okay, so ito na yung values. Para hindi na ulit tayo mag-convert kasi same naman yung given. So, since we have the given, ito po yung mga given na the value of our z sub 1 is ito. The value of our z sub 2 is ito. So, this is the r, this is the theta, this is the r, this is the theta. So, we first solve for the value of z sub 2 raised to 25. Haba, no? Z sub 2 raised to 25. So, that's r. What's the value of our r here? That's square root of 20 raised to 25. Don't forget that. Tapos, cosine and theta. N natin is 25 times theta, which is negative 26.56 degrees, plus I sine theta. Theta natin is the same as 26.56, that's negative, times 25, which is the n. So, I want it to be in polar form para hindi tayo mahirapan. Executing that, square root of 20 raised to 25. The result says na ang sagot niyan ay 1.83 times 10 raised to 16. So, mahaba daw yan. Raised to 16 yan. Times, ito yung CIS ko na lang yan. 25 times negative 26 times negative 26.56 at ang value ko ay negative 664 degrees. So, writing that in polar form, I can write that as 1.83 times 10 raised to 16 angle negative 664. Next is i-raise ko naman yung z sub 1 sa power ng 25. So, basically, ano ulit yung r natin? R natin is square root of 5. Square root of 5 raised to 25. Cosine, 25. Kasi raised to 25 siya. Times, yung theta natin ngayon is 153.44. That the same goes. That's I sine, Same lang to dito. Okay? So, solving for that, square root of 5. That's square root of 5 raised to 25. Ang result, oh my God. Square root of 5 raised to 25 is, mahaba siya, 5, 4, 5, 9, 1, 5, 0, 3, 3.6 ha, diba? Tapos, i-CIS ko na lang yan. 25 times 153.44 is equals to, ang angle natin is 3.836 degrees. So, rewriting that in polar form, that would be 5.459.150.33.6. Ito yung modulus natin. Angle 3.836 degrees. Pabibo, di ba? Pero that does not end our problem. Kasi sabi dito, i-divide natin yung sa z sub 2 divided by z sub 1. So, that's z sub 2. So, i-rewrite na natin ito. That's 1.83 times 10 raised to 16. Angle negative 664 over 5, 4, kopyahin ko mamaya yan. Angle 3836. So, to solve for this, since we are dividing, i-divide natin itong mga modulus niya. So, that's 1.83 times 10 raised to 16 times 5, ay divided by 5, 4, 5915033.6. Ulitin natin, 545915033.6. At ang result niyan ay 3, 521,700. Okay, approximately ganyan. Tapos ito namang mga angle natin, we will just need to subtract them. Subtract kasi we are in division. So, negative 664 minus 3836 is equals to negative angle negative 4,500 degrees. Tantananan. At sa hinaba-haba ng proseso, this is our final answer. Using the Moivre formula. Okay? So, that's it for RD. So, I think nagigets yun naman na yung concept. Sana, sinabi mo. Okay, dito naman tayo. Next, dito naman tayo sa roots and graph. Roots, okay. Wag muna tayong mag-graph. Okay, kasi graphing is painful. Okay, as I said a while ago, kailangan sa De Moivre's formula, kailangan nating hanapin ano yung value ng R at anong value muna ng theta. Kasi ito, nasa rectangular form siya. So, kailangan mo nating hanapin ano yung value ng R and theta. So, to find for the value of R, that's basically 1 kasi yun, tapos 1. So, 1 square plus 1 square. So, that's square root of 2. So, to find for the value of theta, the value of our theta is arctan 1 over 1. So, arctan 1 over 1 is arctan 1 is equals to 45 degrees. So, i-plot muna natin yan ng maayos. 45 degrees, where is 45 degrees? 1 to the right and 1 to the left. So, positive. So, ito yung 45. Tama. Okay, guys. 45 degrees. Pero, hindi pa dyan, hindi 45 degrees yung final angle natin. Remember this kasi dito mostly magkakamali. Kapag you are solving for the roots using the De Moivre's formula, kailangan yung theta natin, yung angle natin is nasa form na radians. So, i-convert muna natin to sa radians. However, if we are, for example, if you are finding for the cube or for the square, okay lang na either nasa radians siya or nasa degrees. Pero kapag roots yung hinahanap natin, specifically, kailangan radians yan. Bakit? It's the rules. Kailangan yon. It's really basta. Nasa radians yan. Kasi meron kasi tayong pi doon sa ating coefficient, sa ating formula. Kaya para makancel yung I, kailangan na radians yung what do you call this? Yung angle natin. So, converting that into radians, we just need to multiply that to pi over 180, 45. That would be equal 145 by 180. That would be equal to, magiging 1 yun. So, that's 4. So, our value is pi over 4 in radians. Okay? So, now, we use now the formula. We now solve. So, our formula for this is, square muna natin yung R. Square root of 2. Ganun. Ito, cube root of the square root of 2. Ito, we can simplify this further. That's, kasi diba ito is equals to, square root of 2 natin is 2 raised to 1/2. Tapos, ito, i-raise pa natin yan sa 1/3. So, 1/2 times 1/3, that's the same as 2 raised to 1/6. Am I right? Sana. 2 raised to 1/6 or equal to square root of 2, 6. Yan, tama yan. So, R natin, since yan yung R natin, so that's square root of 2, 6. Next natin is cos pi. What's the value of our theta? The value of our theta is pi over 4. Pi over 4 times plus, 2k pi over n. Okay lang yan. Kahit wag nating plus I, sin, same lang yan. Ikakopy lang naman to eh. Now guys, what we need to do here is to, ano ba tong k? Yun yung karamihang tanong nila, ano tong k? Yung value ng k natin guys, since ito, raised to 3 siya, we will start from 0, we count 0, 1, 2. Dapat meron tayong 3 digits from 0 kung raised to 3. For example, raised to 5 yan, ang values ng k natin is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That says na maghahanap tayo ng 5 na roots. So that's k is equal to 0, k is equals to 1, k equals to 2, k equals to 3, k equals to 4. So dito, we start first with k is equals to 0. So if this is 0, that would be more simplified as pi over 4. Since that's 0, 0 times 2 is 0 times pi is 0 over, ano yung n natin? The value of our n is raised to cube root siya. So 3. Okay? So, simplifying that, 6 square root of 2. So, the value of our angle, CIS, pi over 4, pi over 4 divided by 3 is 1 over 12 pi. This can be our answer. Pero I want it in polar form. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. So that's 6 square root of 2 CIS. Convert ko to sa degrees so that I will just multiply there 180 over pi. Mag-cancel yung pi. Pi, that's 180 divided by 12. So that's 15 degrees. So that's 6 square root of... Joke lang. That's square root of 2, 6, angle of 15 degrees. We can simplify this further. That would be 6, 2. That would be 1.12. So this is our first root. When k is equals to 0, our first root is ito. Now, we now solve naman how if k is not equal to 0. For example, let's say k is equal, when k is equals to 1 naman, we just copy this, ito, then we solve for the answer. So that's 2, that's 6. So that's next is CIS. I forget to mention, CIS stands for cosine I sine. Yun. So next is pi over 4. Pero ngayon plus 2. 2 and k is 1. So that's 1. And pi over, ito, over n yan. Ang value ng atin n is 3. So solving for that, 6 square root of 2 CIS. So that's 2 pi. That's pi over 4 using our calculator plus 2 pi over 3. That's equals to 3/4 pi. 3/4 pi. Gusto ko siyang i-convert into degrees para mas ma-identify natin kasi may that would be 180 over pi. Cancel ng pi. 180. So that's 180 divided by 4 times 3. That would be 135. So our final answer would be 1.12 angle 135 degrees. So that's for k sub 1. Now for k sub 2, so this is z sub 2. So now if k is equals to 2, I will just copy that. That's 6 square root of 2 is that CIS pi over 4 plus next doon, that's 2. Ang k naman natin ngayon is 2 times pi. So that's 4 pi over n. So to solve for that, using our magic calculator, that's pi over 4 plus 4 pi is equals to divided by 3. So that's 17 over 12 pi. That's 1.12 CIS. I-convert ko sa degrees. Multiply ko lang dyan yung 180 over pi. Cancel. So 180 divided by 12 times 17. That would be equal to 225 degrees. So our final answer here, guys, is 1.12 angle 225 degrees. Okay. So how will we write our final answer? So to write our final answer, dito guys, andito yung this is the value. This is z sub 1. This is z sub 2. And this is z sub 3. So to write for our final answer, so for what are the three roots? Z sub 1 is equals to 1.12 angle 15 degrees. Z sub 2 is equals to 1.12 angle 135 degrees. Z sub 3 is equals to 1.12 angle 225 degrees. So these are the three roots that the problem is actually kung ano yung pinapahanap niya sa atin. Alright? So that's it for the Moivre's formula. Always remember, kapag nasa the Moivre's formula tayo, we should be, ang theta natin should be in regions before solving. Alright? So that's it for today, guys. I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Kung may mga katanungan kayo, mga parekoy, kindly comment down below and try natin yung sagutan. Bye-bye, mga parekoy.